as the world is always changing. Sometimes we must step up. This is how Bald and Bonkers Cares.
Well, it certainly has been an interesting week, hasn't it? Hello, everyone. This is Dakota Franson, Specialist of the Strange. Don't get too discouraged. I'm just going to put a little message up here. The plan was to make a couple announcements in regards to the Ukraine situation and what Bald and Bonkers is actually doing in order to help. But now that we've had this little tidbit of information, as some of you who may know or who pop in the chats during the live shows, Drew recently announced that she was expecting another grandchild. Well, a couple hours before this broadcast was initially supposed to air, I was notified that her daughter is being taken to the hospital, and it's still a situation that's still evolving at this point. Drew really was hoping to make it in on time, but I do want to say, Drew, just be there with your family. The shows don't matter. Yes, they're going well, and yes, you're still part of this ride, but your family has to come first, especially with everything that's going on in the world. So, much love to you, much love to your daughter. Hopefully everything is okay, and this is just a minor scare. It's always a sketchy situation when a child is involved. Believe me, my sister went through some difficult situations that, well, let's just say I understand. So, no worries, Drew. We can try to reschedule what Drew intended to do for tomorrow, depending on how things go. I'll probably work out a little bit better on my end, just because I still got to work tonight. So this is going to be a relatively short broadcast, because just to basically announce what's going on and show that as we are on the way to becoming an official company, as in I'm expecting the official paperwork in hand any day now, I want to try to make this something that we can use to do some good. Because let's face it, whether or not you're involved in the paranormal, UFOs, maybe even cryptids, there's a point all of us come across where some very troubling things take place. Whether it's you discover some disturbing information about a case, or even the clients, we have family struggles, or we get diagnosed with a severe illness. Sometimes we just need to show some love, show some help, and do what we can to help others, not because they're family, not because we owe them anything, not because we feel obligated for any reason, or not because we're trying to paint ourselves as this high and mighty good guy, as I know some people would try to claim this as under the circumstances. Well, simply because we're human beings. We need to take care of one another. Human beings, since the beginning of their evolution, regardless of whether you subscribe to creationist theory, Adam and Eve, or base majority of your beliefs on scientific findings, or maybe you like to do what I do and try to implement both, because maybe one side sees something that the other is missing. We can't, simply because we care, and we as human beings, how we manage to survive everything we've gone through in history, recorded or not, is because we managed to band together. So this is not going to be your normal paranormal broadcast. We may have a few things that come up every now and then, but it is times like with the current Ukraine situation, with the Russian invasion, that things tend to stir up. So as people who've been through troubles in their life, we want to make sure we show that we care. So the first order of business. It's like, don't worry, Drew, we believe you. It was like, first, Drew, don't worry, we believe you. There's still an open spot for you. No worries. You focus on your family. That's all. And you know what, let's go even further. There might be some people that try to poke at the fact that we like to joke and goof around. But you know what? Sometimes we just need that kind of release in the day. Just a reason to laugh. But when it comes to active war crimes, crimes against humanity, complete and utter deception of so many people, we have to take a stand. The Russian invasion, there's still comments coming out that, oh, they shouldn't have voted for Putin then. They clearly don't know how Russian politics works. They shouldn't, oh, the people shouldn't subscribe to that. They signed up for that. No, there's new information coming out that even the soldiers that are invading had no clue what they were going in to kill. They were a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds who had their phones taken away and didn't even know they were going into the Ukraine. What does that say about the situation? Now, the Ukrainian government, they are providing refuge for soldiers that can give up when they realize that, wait a sec, we're hurting innocent people. So there's a lot of talk in conspiracy circles. It's like, oh, this is it. Oh, this is their push for the New World Order. If it is, the global elite have gotten fucking lazy. I cursed. But that comes down to it. The elite have gotten crazy if that's what it is. Putin deceived everybody and is continuing to try to deceive because of his own ambitions. This is not Russia. This is not a chain of command. This is all the ambitions of a madman. And there's even information that Putin's doing this because he may have some sort of life-threatening illness. What a lot of people don't realize is that Vladimir Putin was a former KGB agent at the time of Soviet Union's fall. It hit him hard, and he made no attempt to keep it a secret that he thought that was one of the worst things to ever happen. Now he's pushing forward, to which a lot of experts in the region, those in his inner circle, had absolutely no clue that he would go this far. You know, he's talked about it, but didn't know he would go this far. So the allegations that there's some sort of severe illness with Putin, it fits the bill. One last big blow. That's probably a poor choice of words, but nevertheless. So some of you in the Bald and Bonkers network know that I've kind of teased some merchandise designs that you'll find in the links below that simply call out Putin. They call him out. In fact, I'm going to show you one of those designs right now. That's the censored version. There's also an uncensored one. This is not Ukraine versus Russia. A UN Security Council meeting recently saw the first ever major walkout when a Russian ambassador took the stand. Russia's economy is falling. I believe there was some estimates not too long ago that say you could probably end up buying a good-sized piece of land and a big old Russian mansion for roughly 60 US dollars because it has crumbled that much. Pornhub, of all websites, is pulling out. Has started putting IP address blocks for Russia. Pornhub, of all sites. And yeah, I know this is probably some content that'll get us flagged on across social media due to sensitivities. I know there's a couple people in the chat right now who are probably on the list for the number of times they end up in Facebook jail. Pornhub is blocking them. The Taliban, the Afghani government, which is currently under the Taliban control, is calling for a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. Think about that. What does that say? NATO, this whole thing started allegedly because Ukraine was about to join NATO. And a couple other countries, even Switzerland, Finland, I believe Poland, if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably getting these mixed up. Switzerland has completely avoided its famous neutral standing to side with the Ukraine. This is something that history is being made. Vladimir Putin's wanting, even if he is sick, Vladimir Putin's wanting his name to be remembered in textbooks. But he is panicking right now because it is not going according to what he thought it was. He thought he was smarter than everybody else. He thought he was going to trick a bunch of dumb kids who are wanting to prove themselves to this country, to their homeland, to their military. He's getting beaten by a country with farmers. That is nothing but farmers, teachers. That's led by a stand-up comedian who apparently won the Ukraine's version of Dancing with the Stars before he took office. I am just learning this. There's a lot of concerning activity going on. And now that there's even reports of bombings inside Russian quarters where protests are happening, where the Russian citizens are trying to fight back. People of Russia don't want this. No one wants this. But a crazed madman. So once again, I think, and I know there's a few people who are reporting that they're getting flagged for putting out this kind of merch. So, oh yeah, we have shirts, we have mugs, we have bumper stickers. The merchandise is run through a website called Zazzle. It was the quickest way to get this out there. And quite frankly, if you just look at the Snake Island soldiers that were allegedly claimed dead after a warship tried to come on them and say, lay down your weapons and surrender, their exact response was, fuck you, warship. Not in those exact words, but in the Ukrainian dialect of Russian. There's a lot of people getting hurt. A lot of people dying. Over what? Power. Greed. So, for those of you who decide to buy some of this merch, some of the links below will take you to it. All the proceeds from those will be going to charities dedicated to funding both the soldiers and the citizens. Russia, a lot of Russian retreats going on right now, or at least considers of retreats, is due to the fact they're running out of supplies and cannot fund themselves. And for those of you who are really into Bitcoin, you may want to be very careful, because there's certain financial advisors who fully believe that Putin is behind the creation of Bitcoin. And that's part of a further Russian conspiracy to try to wreck the global economy. So the merchandise is only just the beginning. Y'all, if you like it, buy it. This Bald and Bonkers Cares, it's not going to be, probably not going to be a weekly show. It's going to just be something we do every once in a while. For not just charity causes, but if anytime we see someone in our communities needing fundraising, try to help them out. Try to bring on some charity groups who have various different causes, simply because we want to help, and there's only so much we can do. And being that Bald and Bonkers network as a whole is growing much more than I anticipated, we want to do some good with it, make our stance known. But like I said before, the merch is only the beginning. What do I mean by this? Well, there's also a little bit of a charity partnership. Please tell me I saved that link. I'm a bad boy. Where? Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, come on. Anywho, let's see if I can bring that up real quick. There's also a charity partnership between Save the Children and Bald and Bonkers. Yes. We have a fundraising team page now set up through Save the Children, who do all sorts of amazing work for not for kids here in the U.S., but all over impoverished countries. They do a lot with children affected by the situation in Afghanistan. There's Africa. I've been working through them for years, on and off. There was some situations with controversy, but all in all, they do an amazing job. And I thought I managed to save the link in the description of this episode, but apparently I did not. So if you see me kind of eyeing off to the side, that is what I am trying to do. You come on. Technology never seems to want to work when you want it to, huh? Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's the Russians. Anyway. Oh, dear Lord. So. Oh, well, there will be social media messages scheduled that on all the connected web pages very soon. That'll show the Save the Children link. And it's also another fundraising effort. I don't want to ramble you guys' ears off too much. Yeah, I know. Right, Sherry? So, you'll probably see a replay of this on backup channels here very soon. I'm trying to make sure the link is included there, but nevertheless, know that this is how we stand. And I know it's the middle of the week, and it seems like everybody's feeling a little bit of chaos right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Before I do, let's talk about this week's programming. Of course, we have the Inner Quartz this Thursday. They are going to be talking about crystal cleansings. That's very interesting. We'll try to get a new closing, a new outro set up here very soon. So give me some time. I'm trying to juggle so much, and juggling is something I've never been able to do well. So let's see. Friday, no Lost Magic, so we might sneak on here. Maybe, depending on the weather. There might be some UFO related stuff coming up very soon. because this Saturday, March 5th, we have author of the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, Craig Campobasso. I hope I am pronouncing that last name coming on right. He's going to be coming on to share some of his information. And trust me, if you can get a hold of his book, I highly recommend it. There is a lot of information in there that honestly has been helping me understand some of the abductee cases that have been coming up lately. Then perhaps later that Saturday, I do know that some people in the chat are going to be talking about doing UFO watches very soon. I do know there is a global CE5 event taking place. Basically, what Dr. Stephen Gerg, he's the one that originally set up the program, set up the app. What he does every, I think it's about like once a month. It's like on the weekend from 8 p.m. till midnight, your local time zone. He wants people to play the tones to create kind of a lighthouse effect around the planet to bring ETs here. And I don't know about you all, after we did that little experiment on Sunday, I've been noticing a bit of activity around me, but that's just me being the weirdo that I am. Hey, Samuel, how's it going, brother? So, then coming this Sunday, chances are, if the situation is as promising as it sounds, we're probably going to host an open panel to discuss things a bit more. So be on the lookout for that. Again, I do want to thank all of you for coming. I know this is eating spaghetti with a piece of banana. You do you, brother. You do you. Anyway, I know the world seems chaotic right now. There's a lot of messed up things going on, but have hope. If anything, Ukrainian people being able to put up as much of a fight as they have been, that's a sign of hope. That's a sign of heroism that the world has not seen in a very long time. And I think at the end of the day, we should follow their example. I stand with Ukraine, and what was it that Chad had? Puck Putin.